Lung mechanics basically are those factors which help to take air in, that is, inspire the air or take it out. So, the major factors definitely these are the muscles of inspiration and the expiration, and we will go into the details of this. The inspiration mechanics, they help to take air in by chest cavity expansion. Chest cavity expands and resultantly the lungs are stretched out so that more air can go into the lungs. What are the muscles that are involved in muscles of inspiration? The major muscle is diaphragm, then intercostal muscles and the accessory muscles of inspiration. Diaphragm is the major muscle. It increases the vertical space by contracting down. What happens that diaphragm is mostly like this basically, and when during inspiration it goes down, it is present just below the chest cavity, and when it goes like this it increases the uh, space of the chest cavity. For further inhalation, basically the major muscle is for inspiration is diaphragm. By contracting down, it takes a lot of air inside the lungs. There are second line of action, further muscles which help for the inspiration. These are the intercostal muscles. They increase the horizontal space and the anterior-posterior space. How the horizontal space of the chest cavity is gained? It is gained by when the sides of the ribs they move upward, and this movement is termed as bucket handle movement. Here is the illustration in which the chest cavity is drawn. Here behind is the vertebral vertebra, and these are the this is the sternum, and these are the ribs going from sternum going from vertebral column towards the sternum, and they go like upside down, like the rib portion that is attached to the vertebral column, it is more superior than the rib portion which is attached to the sternum. In this way, when ribs move, they move the sternum up as well as the sides of the ribs also move upward. Here the green arrows show how the ribs are being moved upward. The intercostal muscles are present in between the ribs. When they contract, they move the ribs, these are the sides of the ribs, they move the ribs upward like this. Here is an analogy of the bucket handles. These are the bucket handles in the green, and when they move upward, the total space from here to here is increased in this illustration when the handles are moved upwards. So the handles are moved upwards is basically the same way the ovaribs are moved upward, and the space in the chest cavity, the horizontal space is gained. The second way is how can we gain the anterior-posterior space, and in this space gain method, ribs move the sternum upward and anterior, and it is like the hand pump movement. Here is I have drawn the hand pump by which when it is moved up and down, water comes out, and this is like the way the sternum moves upward. Here this is the sternum. When the yellow arrows show how the sternum is being moved upward, and we gain the anterior to the posterior space gain. Next, there are accessory muscles which help in labored breathing. For example, in strenuous exercises, when we need a lot of oxygen and a lot of we need to expire out the carbon dioxide, this is labored breathing. In that times we need accessory muscles for inspiration so that we can gain more oxygen, more air. These are the sternocleidomastoid muscle, the scalenus muscles, and the pectoralis major muscle. Now the expiration mechanics. It helps to move the air out of the lungs. It decreases the chest cavity by stretching back of lungs. Lungs are basically the elastic structures. They recoil back. In quiet breathing, what happens that there are no additional muscles for the expiration. Expiration happens just by the relaxation of the inspiration muscles, the inspiratory muscles, and the elastic recoil of the lungs. You can see the lungs are very elastic structures. Elasticity is a property by which resists the deformation of any substance. So what happens that lungs try to remain in their original state, and inspiratory muscles basically work or counteract this elasticity of the muscles. So when they relax, lung recoils back to their on original position. Sometimes it happens that we need in case of that I said labored breathing, we need accessory muscles. These are the two muscles, the intercostal muscles, they help, and also the abdominis rectus muscle. Basically they both help to push air out of the lungs.